finally snowed here, which is so fun for us, but not fun if you were alive in the 1800s, especially if you were living in the Great Plains in the 1880s. This brought us some of the worst winter weather we've ever had. The winter of 1886 into 1887 was known as the Great Cattle Die-Up. It was just a really long, brutal winter that killed thousands of cattle. And this was a really big hit to the local economy here. And then the next winter was somehow even worse. The winter of 87 into 88 brought us one of the deadliest blizzards in American history, and they call it the school children's blizzard. And there's no way I can tell you everything that you need to know about it because it is a crazy story, and I really encourage that you like look into it. There's a lot of information about it, but basically it was a week in January where we had 40-degree weather and it was super nice outside. And everybody was, tending to their farms and sending the kids to school and running errands and whatnot. And then a winter storm blew in. We went from 40 degrees down to 18 degrees in minutes. And the winds that came with this storm were 40 to 80-mile-an-hour winds. And they said that the snow that was falling wasn't even like snow, it was ice dust. It was just really aggressive. And so many people got stuck where they were in this just instantaneous whiteout. And they had to hunker down in the fields, in haystacks, or in the barns with the animals, or the kids who were at school had to hunker down as much as they could. And teachers had to make the call. Do we send kids home and hope that they make it? Or do we try to ride this out? But we didn't bring any firewood to school today because it was only 40 degrees. What do we do? And a lot of people did send their kids home, and a lot of those kids didn't make it. They got lost in these whiteouts. There are so many just tragic stories that you can look up. Um, then there were other teachers who tried to ride it out, but the storms were so bad that they were ripping buildings apart. Roofs were coming off, doors were coming off, windows were being blown in. Just horrific, like worst case scenario, And there was a teacher, Minnie Freeman, who decided to tie a rope to herself and to each of her students and try to make it to a nearby house for safety. And she did make it. All of the kids made it. There was another teacher who tried to lead all of her students to safety to a nearby home, and they did not make it. They got lost in this whiteout, and she ended up getting frostbite so bad she had to have both of her feet amputated, and most of her children died. There are just so many crazy stories that go with this, and the storm has brought us things like the National Weather Service and a bunch of like safeguards in schools, such as having extra supplies on hand and turning schools into safe places and not just buildings. So it really is a rabbit hole of history. Everything I talk about is always a rabbit hole, but I just thought I would tell you about that.